Cardfight Club. The first rule of Cardfight Club, you don't talk about Cardfight Club. What's going on, Cardfight community? OMG Josh here with John, and he's here to debut his post-fighter collection D-Robo deck. Take it away, Johnny.
Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with, of course, the starter in the deck. We got Dimensional Robo Diehawk here. He's got an activated skill. If you can remember Goyusha before, it's kind of reminiscent of that. Goyusha allowed you to suck in your soul, 4 units with Dimensional Robo in the name, and ride on to grade 3 once you got to grade 2. That was pretty devastating at the time. Times have changed. We're a little evolved now. We're a bit more focused on Stride, and as much as I like my grade 3 combo, I gotta say the Stride is one of the main focuses of this deck now, and this starter really helps me get into that. And it's the ability, it allows me to suck 4 D-Robo units into the soul once I get to grade 3, and I can Stride activated. It doesn't matter if they're at grade 0 and they're completely grade stuck. As soon as I have gone through the steps to get to grade 3, I can go straight into Stride if I have the hand in the field that allows me to do it. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to our Stride. My first Stride, personally, I like to go into Die Earth. I run 2. Activated once per turn, Counterblast 2, flip over a Die Earth, and it allows me to take 2 units from my deck, a grade 3 and a grade 2 respectively, and place them on my field. It also states that if I have another Die Earth, 2 of them flipped over, that I achieve a crit. Now, I'm not too worried about the crit early on as much as I'm focused on filling my field back up after hitting that Diehawk. It's a big hand loss, but to achieve Stride so early, I feel hitting that triple check and filling your field back up with Diehawk, or I'm sorry, with Die Earth here, it's a really great combo. Up next is one of my favorite cards right now to Stride into, and I run 4 of Final Die Max. He's the buffer that we've really been needing since Die Earth has been out, and the next Stride I'll show you here, Leon, he achieves this crit that really puts the pressure on your opponent earlier, or more in the mid game, that allows you to finish him off with a Leon or a great GB8 skill. Die Max skill here is activated once per turn, flip over another Die Max unit, and your Vanguard gets a +10 and a crit if you're basically at GB2. Now, it doesn't stop there. That sounds pretty great to start putting the pressure on with +10 and a crit. But once you're at GB4, the whole front row gets additional +5 and crit. So your rear guards are getting +5 and a crit, and this unit is now at +15 +2 crit. That's really great pressure to go into the second Stride and even the third Stride if you haven't put enough pressure on to finish them with Leon early enough. Up next, we do have Leon, and I run 4. Just in case there isn't enough, or just in case I need to really focus on getting to like a GB8 skill to finish my opponent off with really, really strong effects, or the first time they're at 5 damage, they healed out of it. Leon states, activated once per turn, GB2, Counterblast 1, and every grade 3 that I reveal breaks the Guardian Circle 1 time. And perfect guards don't stand a chance. 2 perfect guards, you're hitting 2 grade 3s, they're at 5 damage. It's definitely it's the finisher, for sure. If Die Max and those extra crits didn't do it, Leon will knock it out the park. And if Leon didn't do it, if somehow, some way they were so lucky to get past all of that, we have Ultimate Die King. He's GB8 completely for free. Basically, fill your field, show me the perfect guard. He gets +10 and a crit for each rear guard that I have filled up. So that's +50 +5 crit on this unit. That's not all. He's also stating that if he achieves a number of 80k or greater, so in his column when he swings at 80k or greater, the rear guards get +10 for each crit on this unit. So that's additional +50 to each column, if I'm not mistaken. That's 100k columns in addition to an 80k plus 80k column with 6 crits. Again, show me the perfect guards or good game for sure. That's the last of the Stride. Next, we do have some G Guardians, and this is a little controversial. I run 5 G Guardian. I want to kind of get to GB8 a little sooner so I can kind of finish them off with that Die King if I know in their hand they don't have the pressure to, or I'm sorry, the perfect guard to stop me. Here we have the Oceanic Conversion Atlantis Dolphin, and there's a heal trigger that is kind of similar to this unit, and this is the reason why that heal trigger doesn't really make it in there. This unit states at GB1, if I flip a G Guardian over, and that's why I do run 5, that I have to kind of waste a G Guardian to do so, and I don't want to sacrifice too much. Flip a G Guardian over, and this unit gets +5 shield for every rear guard that I have. And if this unit achieves 30k shield or greater, I get to Soul Blast and unflip a unit. My resources are managed pretty well throughout the game. It's not too much of a focus. I just want to manage my G Guardians. And the last 3 here, we got Enigman Patriot, Super Cosmic Hero Caravu, and Dark Element Dismal. Dismal more was Sea Breeze before, but with that starter, everything's kind of, it would be a bit redundant. We got Dark Element Dismal here to protect a grade 2, say from classic matchups, from Kagaro, or a mirror match where Laurel might take into place. Now we got Cosmic Hero X Caravu. He's allowing me to achieve an additional +10 to the shield if your opponent's swinging at 30k or greater. He also allows me to achieve 4,000 to a unit of, or to my Vanguard if I have, if I discard a card from hand, and that's till the end of turn. Up next, we got Patriot, and he's simply stating that if my opponent is swinging at 20k or greater, that he achieves an additional 5k to the shield. Up next, we got Grade 3. We got the Limit Break hero from before. We have Super Dimensional Robo Daikaiser. Limit Break 4, Counterblast 1, Break Ride ability, +10 to crit to the unit that rides over them, and they achieve a Guard Break skill. Running 4 there to pair up with 4 of our Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Daikaiser. Now this is the Legion that you would want to break ride over Daikaiser, and he's going to pretty much give you the same break ride ability once he's legioned up with, Daisha here. And he's going to steal Daisha's crit and basically turn that ability to another Guardian Break ability. So after riding over Daikaiser, you're achieving 2 Guardian Breaks with a Counterblast every time you drive check a Grade 3. Pretty devastating, definitely a finishing blow if you need it and you don't have the ability to Stride. Very capable of finishing them from 0 to 6 with the Laurel due to the fact that you're achieving so many crit, and it's it's classic. But again, Stride is where we want to focus on this deck. So 10 Grade 3 total, but that's not limited to the Grade 3 because we run 4 Dimensional Robo Dai Bazooka. He states, if I have a Kai's in the name, when he attacks, he's achieving a +2, so he's an 11k swinger, not to mention in the trigger zone, not when you damage, but when he triggers, he counts as a Grade 3, and if I have, and when I reveal this guy, he allows me to soul charge and unflip. So I can keep my soul alive and keep my resources alive. This unit is just too good to be true. Counts as a Grade 3, so that's about 14 Grade 3s in the deck in total. You got the Grade 2s. Since the Grade 3s were upgraded to 10 total, we only have 10 Grade 2s. Dimensional Robo Dijet makes it in at 4 because his effect is too good. Activated once per turn, GB1. Choose a Grade 3 from your discard pile, put it back into your deck, and your Vanguard gets a +4 on hit ability. Counterblast, draw a card. Now, it doesn't seem too great to get the +4, but putting the grade 3s back in the deck is really great when you're trying to break the Guardian Circle with Leon and Daikaiser. I had a toss-up between Dairizen here and the 10k, but Dairizen just kind of made it in here because his continuous effects allow him to achieve potentially a +13 continuously if I have Daikaiser and Daisha respectively, if I'm in Legion. Not to mention continuous while I'm swinging a +2 for each dimensional Robo that I have in my Guardian, my G zone. So this makes it over the 10k, but he only makes it at 2 of because the other 2 units were just too good not to have at 4. Up next, we have grade 1. We have, of course, 4 perfect guards. We want to have that with a dimensional Robo name. Again, the resources aren't already managed. We don't have to worry about going through and finding that the other perfect guard that will manage your resources, I can't remember the name at the time, but definitely fits the name and gets the job done for perfect guarding. Up next, we do have 4, you guessed it, Commander Laurels. Probably the heart and soul of the deck before. Stride can definitely run the deck, but if this is the soul, this is definitely the card. Commander Laurel, if you're not unfamiliar with the effect, you will be sorry that you didn't know it when your opponent springs it on you, and that's if your Vanguard hits. It doesn't matter if he's swinging at the rear guard or if he's swinging at your Vanguard. If the attack hits and you have 4 units to tap 4 units and restand your Vanguard. And that, again, with a bunch of crits, this deck is going to put him away really quick from 0 to 6. And Laurel is the reason to do that. So he definitely makes it in at 4. Up next, we were running limit break enablers before to try to achieve Daikaiser's skill, but now that the game has been a bit sped up, the grade 2 rushing and all that, the damage is kind of just skyrocketing. So we don't need the limit break ability anymore. We're going to focus on Yuka here, and she's going to allow us at GB1 to put +4 to a Vanguard. And I think that's just a little bit more beneficial than simply a limit break unit that's only going to be beneficial early game, and I don't need to achieve that any longer. So only 3 of, and I reduced my grade 1s from a standard 11 to 10. My final 2 units here are going to be reducing monster weakening. Now this unit says Soul Blast 2 when your Vanguard attacks or is attacked, so both your turn or their turn. Soul Blast 2 and choose a unit from their front row, give it a -10 until the end of that battle. Really great if you're giving them, they're at grade 2 and you're going into a combo with Stride and a Laurel and they're at, a 9k or a 10k. Now they're at negative or 0. Unless they have the perfect guard, you're going to finish the game, basically. Or at least guarantee the win. And if you're in a bind and he's on the field, you have the soul, minusing the 10 can make or break the guard that you have in your hand. Like, it's really great tech. Not too many people run it, and it kind of takes away from the D-Robo name that I run. That's now 6 units in the deck that aren't D-Robo, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take for how awesome this tech is. Last but not least, we have our triggers, and it's pretty standard. 4 draw, trying to replenish my hand from Diehawk. 4 dimensional Robo heal, again, sticking away from the Dolphin because the resources are already managed and we want to stick with the D-Robo name. And 8 dimensional Robo crit. If all the crit on the G Guardians weren't enough, this will definitely finish the job. Alright guys, thank you so much. That is the deck. Like, comment, subscribe.
Alright, thank you, Johnny. And I think we need to shake hands like Kaiser and whoever that is.
There we go. Justice.
Yeah. Like he said, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys. This is Cardfight Club. OMG Josh, signing out.